This was Aliens and Artists. But now, I need to vent. Can I vent? Jesus, please trust me, I know the last thing the world needs is some white male fuck venting grievances. But this is one of my grievances. Why do you assume I'm a white male fuck? I am, in fact, an alabaster lilac. The olfactive bloom. So open your nose, pimps and hoes. So now I spew. I'ma spit and spew and disgorge. Because this is the last episode. That's right! Shit be deadening, dying, terminating. So, as I exit, allow me to flood. The ultimate hubris is this idea that we may be alone. Just the fucking idiocy that we are scouring the skies with telescopes, wondering whether there's life in the Trappist system, and then that very life wondering why we are wondering about its wonders. All the while we ponder that wondering, fucking millions and millions of humans have had face-to-face long-term relationships with non-human entities. Just that idiotic fucking fact is enough to make you chew your fingers off. Masticate your fucking phalanges. And I have tried to chew my fingers off. I wish I were joking. I'm not. It's one of the ways my anxiety presents. I eat my own hands. But I ingress, I digress. The level of insanity on this planet is enough to make one insane. But as we know and show on this Gnostic showy show, the more interesting puzzle is becoming healthy in this sick culture. The more challenging love is becoming love. Sane in this insanely loveless culture. Fuck it. There is no shortage of lack. No, not. Neither, nothing. Want none? Well, here it isn't. Yay. Have you looked around much lately? The incivility parading, ignorance, ascendancy of poison. Don't worry, I will cheer up. Just a transitory touch of honesty to note that any perceptive, sensitive soul set into these conditions would consider self-immolation or social immolation. But again, that's not the long play. That's not the deep love. And this is about love. If I say it is, it is. It is to me. That's what it's fucking about. This is about love. My life is about love. And if you tell me otherwise, you are not part of my life, which is about love. And my life says that all life is not about love. It actually is love, ultimately. Macro and micro, it's love. And there's only life, which is only love. And even death, especially death, specifically death, particularly death, does not unlive the life, love, force. Death, in fact, supports life, love's inexorable, exploratory motion. Stop shitting on death. Life is love is life, and death is life in motion. But I die fucking gress. Are we alone? Are we alone? Good goddesses. We ponder this fucking expletive, interrogatory, amidst an incalculable teeming infinitude of living, life-loving death novas. We are like people asking ourselves, Do I have a headache? Is this my asshole? Should I take my eye out of my head and point it back toward the vacated breach of my pulsing asshole? Are we alone? Are aliens here? Are you a fucking imbecile? Probably. I mean, I am. You should see the insipid shit I be on the reg. But I digress. Are we alone? A lot of folks assume we are alone because the brain is a sieve straining thoughts. Thoughts are what fear excretes after imbibing souls. Just ask an alphabet agency. Some brains, fear colons, say we're alone. I mean, put it this way. Dozens and dozens of children interacted with non-human entities in broad daylight on a school playground in Zimbabwe, and people like Bill Maher still make anal probe jokes when the subject of aliens comes up. So fuck you, Earthlings. Fuck you very much. If the Ariel School event did not change history, did not even dent it, then what the fuck could? Would? Will? The impenetrably dense human fuck helmet known as a skull encases the most rigid, unforgiving biological antenna imaginable, the cognitive colostomy bag known as consensus. Do you know what reality makes of consensus? Fossils! Fucking fossils! Fucking fuck. I feel like Tom Wilkinson's character in Michael Clayton right now. He makes a ton of fucking baguette sense to me right now. We're alone. We're alone. Do aliens exist? They don't exist. It's a demonstrably false supposition. However, unbelievable that arrogance is. It confidently gags up such effluvia. Humanity manages such arrogance effortlessly. If I had a nickel for every grandiose, ignorant fuckstick making blithe comments about aliens and delusional experiencers, I'd buy the world a fucking gumball. As we pass 100 episodes of Aliens and Artists, it feels like time is up on a number of things. First, I'm going to tell you 3 things, and then I'm going to tell you 10 things, because the 3 things are lettered and the 10 things are numbered. Because of that. Because of fucking that. Because of that. This ain't 15 things in it. It's 10 things. 15 times in it. What is it? A. I think this podcast, Aliens and Artists, is mostly done. I'm not saying I will never make any more episodes, but I feel like we've heard from many people I hoped we would hear from, and I hate the sound of my own voice at this point. The only thing I hate more than the sound of my own voice is the absence of the sound of my own voice. Like now. Or now. Or this. Or that. Or those. Or them. Or B. This story. How contact with non-human intelligences impacts human creativity. This story needs to move on now to film or television, and that is exactly what we are doing with it. Podcasts just aren't popular or loved or known about. However many listens and downloads this podcast has had, and by the way, it's way so many much more than you fucking think. Jesus, this show is huge. And that's, frankly, how I am able to go out this way. But anyway, that is exactly where we are going with this. TV, film, visual domains. Do your eardrums see me yet? Expect us, unsuspecting suspects. See how can I say this without sounding like a dick? Because I want to be clear. I am a student of this mystery. I am an adept in this cosmic puzzle, but the masturbating monkey adolescence of our species is burning me straight the fuck out. I hate humans, and I am one, and I am not one. Do you think you know what I am? I am also don't, species-wise. Our exuberant sprint to the precipice of disaster is just eye-wateringly painful. While folks like you and I attempt to gain a better understanding about human and non-human relations, most people do not even subscribe to the validity of the subject, much less enact any power to forward it. Are you hot on that grammar? Butch bitch, you want some non sequiturs? A puff of mist from a buffalo breath. People are porta-potty ignorant. I can't fucking believe the willful, jackassed, fucking fuck-headed fuckery that is fucking up actual fucking, which is fucking effulgent. This fucked fuckery populates politics, the media, and the way this enigma is treated in our social arenas. It is an exercise in coprophagy if I ever saw one. But, dear listener, thank God for the disproportionate ratios. One perceptive, curious experiencer outweighs 100,000 lumbering, torpor-laden fuckfaces. Here are 10 things I want to leave you with as I move on to other work, as I move on to browner pastures. Number 1, the entities are real. They are not metaphors. They are not constructs of our collective imagination. They are not symbols, archetypes, myths, or fucking chess pieces in a social experiment. They exist apart from you. They are born, they die, they are here, and their lives unfold independent of our interpretation of them. Stop regarding them as anything less than people with personhood. 2, the entities are numerous. At least dozens of varieties are here with many morphologies. Grays are the Ford Model T, yes, but there are AMC Gremlins. There are Oscar Mayer Wienermobiles. There are jetpacks and one-wheeled motorized skateboards. 3, the entities are non-homogeneous. Mantid, for instance, is a morphology, not a worldview. Grays are a continuum of biology, not an orienting directive or inner typology. Like humans, if you've met one human, you've met one human. Start thinking that way about highly advanced non-human intelligences and non-anthropomorphic intelligences. 4, non-humans have disparate objectives, just like humans. Sometimes our deepest good, our highest potential, aligns with the intentions of non-humans. Other times, no. Sometimes you're the windshield, sometimes you're the bug. 5, the authorities are utterly unauthoritative. They are unqualified for the task at hand. Forget institutions and the fuckity fucks complected in their anatomy. The institutions are populated with low levels of consciousness in high positions of power. The ultra-wealthy and ultra-powerful are mostly ultra-pathological. They subsist on low levels of consciousness. The metastatic fuckery known as civilization currently rewards subjugation and extraction. It is biocytic. Those in power are not qualified to weigh in on the human, non-human dynamic. Nor do you need them to, and nor do deeply developed non-humans need them to. The authorities are unauthorized. They are 12-year-old boys with a BB gun who are determined to shoot their own eye out. They are in government, the military, the black programs. They are auto-fillating adolescents, sucking their own money cocks at the expense of their humanity and our humanity. Pat Benatar was right when she said, "Hell is for children. Enjoy your putrid pederasts as they run religion, money, government, and your local fucking municipality into oblivion and irrelevance." 6. You can become qualified for the task at hand. You are completely able to become qualified to act as an exemplar and an advocate for human sovereignty, the self-affirming validity of a sincere, deep human soul attempting to improve conditions for other sentient beings is what is required, and is also, happily, what is recognized. You know who respects a deep soul? Other deep souls. You know who is attracted to bellicose adolescence? Other bellicose adolescents. Who are these beings with which sociopathic power players have struck deals? The human-non-human deal that permitted abductions and mutilations is the existential equivalent of the ass-to-ass dildo scene in Requiem for a Dream. The human envoys who have arranged bargains on your behalf, who obviously had no right to do so, they have acquiesced to the terms of low-level beings. High-level beings do not make such arrangements. The bar is so basic. Any being infringing on the sovereignty of another is not a high being. To be clear, there are high-level non-human beings here. There are also high-level human beings here. Neither of them treat any sentient life forms as fodder. And by the way, there are no forms of life which are not sentient. We simply do not understand sentience. We are the biocytic insentience approving and declining the sentience of others. It is utterly fucked, and we are utterly fucking fucked as a consequence. 7. No intermediaries. The highly developed non-human entities do not need, nor do they defer to, our antiquated institutions. They do not esteem our inept intermediaries. This is why mysticism is the channel of choice, and mystics are the preferred contactees for any truly substantive détente. It's what contactees and esotericists have in common. Individuals are nimble. Institutions are inept. 8. We are bequeathing a fucking squall to our descendants, and it is disgusting. Billionaires are seeking to preserve inequities. They are so fucking hard and stiff to concretize pathological systems. These systems are a threat to humanity, and they will be sorted. These billionaires will be, literally, I cannot stress this enough, They will be reborn, reincarnated into the very night terror they designed.
That's true.
And are designing. 9. Weapons are for cretins. Weapons which humans pursue in cosmic opposition to an imagined foe. Those weapons are for fucking cretins. Not only are they futile, pointless, and endlessly adolescent, they fuck us. They brutalize our children, their descendants, who, as we've talked about already, happen to be us. We are our descendants. By the way, again, we are inheriting this fetid dystopia. If there is one profitable aspect of selfishness, let it be our recognition that we are coming back here as future us's. Jesus fucking Christ! The resurrection is us. What future do we want our loved ones to inherit? Weaponizing anything is a vain barbarity that ensures misery for all. Sorry, the high road is the only road. The deep road is the only road. Fuckheads with guns gets you fuckheads with guns. Love novas with goddesses gets you love novas with goddesses. The misperceived opponent, which is our own adolescent nature, that opponent must be unseated. We must be good visitors. We must conduct ourselves accordingly because 10, 10, 10. Oh, sweet 10. 10. We are visiting their world. They are not visiting ours. And amazingly, surprisingly, astonishingly, we are welcome. Should we ever show the aptitude or inclination, we are welcome to the fucking party. We may even become custodians of a diamond planet. But as it stands, we are a biocytic plague, and we are forfeiting all privileges. If we were to become capable of unknowing ourselves, we could inherit paradise and deserve it. But we think we know ourselves, and we think we know this world, and we think thinking is thoughtful, but it's awful not full. Bye. Sure have loved you, sure have appreciated you, sure have been moved and transported by the listenership of this show. The long game is good, the short game is bad, the long view is good, the short view is rough. Love is the gig, love is the way, love is the listener. So, keep your ear open. If you want to stay in touch, just become a patron on my Patreon. I will be continuing to post on my Patreon a few times a month stuff about movies, TV, music, spirituality, and animal husbandry, my forte. I did quit Facebook and Instagram and Twitter because fuck that for a game of soldiers. But I'm still on Patreon and will not be quitting Patreon. Click the link in the show notes, blah, blah, blah. We are developing Aliens and Artists as a doc film or a TV series. And I'm working on Dead Girl Walking, my debut feature film, which you can actually read if you're a patron. I'm not retiring. But Patreon, which is private and personal, is going to be the only place where I get interactive for the foreseeable future. Don't cry for me, Argentina. Again, I may do an episode of Aliens and Artists from time to time. I definitely want to interview the great David Coleman. That's on my bucket list. But generally, Aliens and Artists, the podcast, is dropping like a lead leaf toward the ocean floor. And it's beautiful, tranquil, ribbons of diffuse light catching its tumbling edges. I will leave you with something the goddess Psyche once said to me when I was having a fucking panic attack. For real, I quote, "In birth, I give you granite from my altar, bedrock from my temple, a river underground, fire beneath the river, a sky below the fire, stars beyond the sky. A foot knows before a mind the descending path which lifts to love. In death I give you the lamp of my eyes, 2 pearls without pupils, breath before lungs, wings without body. A seraphim soul inherits the void, cradled in firmament, known by unknowing, returning to self, mirrored as she." Window buried in the brain, camouflaged and stained, light leaks out, limbs go numb. She comes in, feels a creature flinch. It cries out, the figure laughs. Finds another half.